Hey guys, it's me, Nicole Fox. This week, instead of a written post, I'm actually going to talk to you about my topic, which is long distance race training on a student schedule. Because we're students, we're taking 30 credit hours a year, give or take, and we just don't have time to go to the gym 7 days a week to work out for 2 hours so we can run that world record marathon or half marathon or whatever we want to do. Um, Last week, you heard from Maggie, who is training for a half marathon. She's going to run the Rock and Roll Phoenix half marathon that's coming up in January. And I thought that this would be a good time to kind of let you guys know about my experience and my interest in this subject, why I'm writing this blog. I actually ran the Rock and Roll half marathon last year, so I thought I'd talk a little bit about how I trained as a student and what worked for me. I was a runner in high school. I ran cross country and track, but I was always more of a short, long distance runner. So the half mile was my best race, followed by the mile. And so 13.1 was a little bit of a step for me, even though I did have a distance background. But kind of like Maggie said last week, I was having a little trouble staying motivated to work out on a regular basis. It was one of those things that it was easy for me to skip going to the gym once a week to say I was too busy because there's a lot of classwork involved in college. There just is, especially on an honors student schedule. And if I didn't have a race later that week, it was pretty easy to say, well, it's not really going to matter. So I thought, if I just sign up for this half marathon, I know I'll be able to train for it because I don't want to get to the starting line and then die at mile 8. So, that's why I decided to run my first half marathon while I was still in college. And it's one of those things that it's hard to find time to train, and I understand. So that's why the half marathon was kind of nice, because you don't have to run 7 days a week. You really only have to do a long run 1 day a week, at least for me. I usually on either Saturday or Sunday, depending on which day was busier for me, I would go on a long run. And I started out probably at 6 or 7 miles for my long run, and I gradually worked up till about a month before the race. My long runs were 10 miles. You really didn't need to run much more than that. As long as I could keep that 10-mile pace, that type of training worked for me. And then the other 3 to 4 days a week, just depending on my schedule, I would run 3 to 5 miles. And it was pretty easy. That can be done in under an hour. Sometimes the 3-mile runs would be a hard pace to get a really good workout in. Sometimes they wouldn't. Sometimes it would just be going out to run just to build a base. And the great thing about the half marathon is that kind of training worked. Also, another thing I did that I found really helped me that a lot of people probably don't think about is just doing abs and arm weights in my room. Every day I did some sit-ups because a strong core is really important, and when you're dying at mile 11 and you're getting really tired, it helps to have strength really anywhere in your body. 5-pound arm weights were another thing. Those helped me so much. It's, obviously it's different than going to the gym and someone's lifting 100 pounds. Well, you're not doing that. They're just 5 pounds. What's it really going to do? But I found at mile 11 and 12, when my legs were getting really tired, I was able to pump my arms, and having some arm strength there as backup really can help. And both of those are simple workouts that really don't take much time out of your day, and it's easy to just do them sitting in your dorm room when you're reading your textbook, your lessons for class. The last thing I would say doesn't really have a lot to do with training in a physical aspect, but setting a goal. That was something that was very important for me to keep me with my training. I knew that I wanted to run this race under 2 hours. So whenever I wanted to cut a mile off my workout or skip doing abs that day, I just thought, what am I going to think if I run 2 hours and 1 minute? And for me, that really helped. So I hope you guys found something useful out of this, or at least understand now why I'm interested in the subject. So thanks for listening, and I will see you guys hopefully back next week.